Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken over the G20 presidency from Indonesian leader Joko Widodo in Bali.
भारत G20 का जिम्मा ऐसे समय ले रहा है जब विश्व जियोपॉलिटिकल तनावों, आर्थिक मंदी, खाद्यान्न और ऊर्जा की बढ़ी हुई कीमतों और महामारी के दीर्घकालीन दुष्प्रभावों से एक साथ जूझ रहा है। ऐसे समय विश्व G20 की तरफ आशा की नजर से देखता है। आज मैं ये आश्वासन देना चाहता हूं कि भारत की G20 अध्यक्षता इंक्लूसिव, एम्बिशियस, डिसिसिव और एक्शन ओरिएंटेड होगी।
India will officially assume the group's presidency from December the 1st. It's expected to host 200 G20 meetings at various levels, with the first next month. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden and UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak have met for talks. They discussed support for Ukraine, the blast in Poland, and challenges posed by China. They also agreed on the importance of sustained engagement in the Indo-Pacific region. The UK PM was scheduled to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping, but their meeting was cancelled. However, China says Beijing is committed to the stable development of relations.
I would like to emphasize that China is committed to promoting the healthy and stable development of Sino-British relations with the British side on the basis of mutual respect, equality and mutual benefit, and hopes that the British side will move in the same direction as the Chinese side.
Well, we can talk now to our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who joins me live now from Bali. Siddhant, to what extent has the final day of the G20 been dominated by those discussions around whatever happened in Poland?
Well, the entire schedule of the G20 meeting got essentially rescheduled because of the Poland incident, because in the wee hours we know that here in Bali the leaders of the G7 plus other countries like Spain and Netherlands came together for an emergency meeting to discuss the issue. We also saw that joint statement by the NATO and the G7 in which they extended support to Poland when it comes to investigating the entire incident. So that led to changes and of course cancellation perhaps of the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and the Chinese President's meeting, because we know that Downing Street has said that there was a scheduling issue, but nonetheless worries were over Russia-Ukraine conflict. We saw the reflection of it in the joint communique where of course certain members, obviously the Western countries, were not very keen that when it comes to being harsh on Russia, countries trying to dilute it should not happen. In fact, for the first time in the history of this grouping, since it was elevated to the summit level way back in 2008, there was no family photo because of Russia and the West divide.
And Siddhant, what in your view will be the difference really between the Indonesian and the Indian presidency? What changes do we expect to see in priorities as a result of the handover?
Well, largely there are more commonalities than essentially changes, because both are emerging countries and both countries are keen that this could be their platform to showcase their rise and power. But of course they share similar challenges and concerns, because remember while the Indonesians started with of course a lot of focus on issues like how to deal with the world emerging from COVID pandemic, but everything got derailed because of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and since then the Indonesians were trying to make sure that they can be a bridge between Russia and the West, and of course somehow dilute or not diffuse the conflict that started in the month of February. And now the challenges passed on to India. It's up to India now how it can be a bridge. And remember, will India be able to bring the Russian president to its summit that happens in September, given it has close relationship? But that also risks its Western partners, because they will not be keen to stand next to the Russian leader.
Siddhant Sibal live in Bali. Thank you very much.